As we come together to celebrate the inspiring contributions of our 2020 Inspire Positive Aging Award nominees, Sound Generations wants to take a moment to add our voice to the many distraught and frustrated across the globe over the loss of Black lives. We take this moment of silence to advocate for a change to the systematic oppression that has ended the lives of Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, Tony McDade, George Floyd, and far too many others.
Hi, I'm Monique Ming, Laven, the evening anchor for KIRO 7 News. I've also been a Sound Generations volunteer transportation driver for about a dozen great clients, and I so wish we could be breaking bread together for our 15th Inspire Positive Aging Award at a safe distance. And these honorees is more important and poignant than ever. In many Western societies, the idea of getting older is viewed negatively, manifested in stereotypes and prejudice toward older adults, equating them with poor health or physical or emotional setbacks. Forget that. We are pushing aside those negative, unhelpful influences. Instead, let's embrace positive aspects of getting older. Now, Sound Generations has built its reputation on that. Locally and aging, and it set the standard for best practices in a wide variety of service areas. The Inspire Positive Aging Award was originally created back in 2006. It puts center stage older adults who are leading life with enthusiasm, grace, creativity, wisdom, maybe a little sassiness, and loaded with a lot of inspiration. And today we're kicking to the curb the silly and simplistic ways that others may view getting older. We reject that. Nope. Instead, we are celebrating 6 recipients and 29 nominees. Now, these people trample any belief that people who belong to a certain age group are limited in their opportunities, are poorer in health, have limited mobility, are completely dependent or lonely. The award has grown from a single award to now 6 awards, each one celebrating a new way to inspire, celebrate, a tribute to you. We have almost all our way. We will have exceeded our goal. Thank you to our award sponsors who are making this celebration possible: Microsoft, Kaiser Permanente, AARP, Biella Foundation, and Azose Commercial Properties. All right, so now the moment we have all been waiting for. Our first category is Advocacy and Activism. All the nominees strive for positive change, promote the environment, housing, transit, or criminal justice, or participating in groups that advance people's rights, such as a political campaign, veterans group, union, neighborhood association, or cultural organization. Here we go. This year's nominees are Trudy James, Diane Radishat, Helen Brennan, Shelmina Abji. And the recipient of the 2020 Advocacy and Activism Award is Trudy James, and you're about to hear why. Trudy?
Good afternoon, and thank you to all of you and to Sound Generations, and especially who nominated me for this Activism and Advocacy Award. For the past 12 years, my own life experience with grief and loss and death and dying to support others in planning well, learning their resources, and having the best possible death. And I made a film in that regard called Speaking of Dying, and I think that's more important now with this new virus than ever before, especially for people like you and me, wise elders who are being more affected by this virus. We need to talk about our wishes to our doctors, to our healthcare advocates, to our friends, children, so that we can all have the best possible death. Thank you again.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your story, Trudy. Advocacy and activism is so important in the field of aging and to the work that Sound Generations and its partners do. Now, here is a brief example of AARP's commitment to advocacy and activism in action.
Advocacy and activism are linked arm in arm and give voice to your passion. Voice can be the literal verbal expression of thoughts, ideas, and arguments, but it can also be reflected in our actions. It's the small acts of kindness and compassion which are the mightiest forms of advocacy. AARP applauds the work that you do to make our communities better places to live lives filled with dignity, purpose, and opportunity.
Next up is community service. The individuals nominated in this category help others through activities such as volunteering at a nonprofit organization, a faith-based organization, senior center, community center, or civic or cultural group. Now offering to help others in an informal capacity, such as organizing neighborhood block watches or caring for others' family members. And this year's nominees are Carol Sandoval, Mohan Khandecker, Sheda Aditya, Nick Kudaroff, Harry and Claradel Shed, Joe Hosam, Jan Klein, Kevin Crutchfield, Denise Crutchfield, and Tom Poe. And the recipient of the 2020 Community Service Award is Mohan Khandecker.
Good afternoon. My name is Mohan Khandecker. I'm honored to be selected as one of the 6 recipients of the Inspire Positive Aging Awards. As I accept this award, I would like to sincerely thank Ramesh Ganguly, my nominator, best friend, and always a great inspiration, and my wife Bharti for her constant encouragement. Like they say, charity begins at home. In my case, volunteering began at home when I was just a child, observing my mother and my grandmother, who always put others' well-being in front of their own. I have found volunteering to be very gratifying, and I agree with the words of late Mahatma Gandhi. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of the others. The greatest reward of volunteering, in my opinion, is the feeling of doing something good for someone else without expecting anything in return. This is especially true in regards to volunteering to help the aging population. Volunteering is free and contagious. I hope to continue to volunteer as long as I can and inspire others to do the same. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your service, Mohan. Community service is so important to the work that Sound Generations and its partners do. Azose Commercial Properties has been a long-term partner with Sound Generations to ensure the highest level of customer service is provided to our clients.
We at Azose Commercial Properties have been strong supporters of the excellent work Sound Generations provides to seniors in our community. During these unprecedented times with COVID-19, your work is all the more important, the need is even greater. We wish to recognize and congratulate the recipient of the Community Service Award. Please continue your good work, be well, and stay safe.
Homestreet Bank was born in Seattle, and for nearly 100 years, we've been your neighbor and a passionate supporter of local communities. From sponsoring our favorite teams and special events like Seattle Pride and Seafair, to nurturing basic needs through affordable housing, shelter, investing in our local culture has always been a part of our DNA. As Seattle continues to grow, so do we. And that means more good things to come for you, your neighbors, and our communities. Homestreet Bank.
And thank Thank you, Homestreet Bank. Next category, intergenerational impact. Now, nominees in this category improve life for those of all ages through activities such as tutoring or mentoring younger people in academic achievement, coaching an athletic team, or engaging youth in the arts, or changing people's minds about the value of older adults. Now, this year's nominees are Reverend Dr. Robert Nicholson, Doug Van, and Sadhru Kutra. And the recipient of the 2020 Intergenerational Impact Award is Sadhru Kutra.
I am honored and humbled to be receiving such a prestigious award. I am grateful for the recognition I am receiving for my services, stretching back to more than 65 years. When I started volunteering at the Redmond Senior Center, I heard about Sound Generation, which was then known as Senior Services. Your services make a significant contribution in the lives of seniors. I am truly in awe of Sound Generation's Herculean effort to serve seniors and people in need. Not very often do dreams come true, and receiving this award was not something I even dreamt about. Words are hard to find to describe the gratitude I feel for this recognition, and the only way to show my feeling is to say thank you, or as I said in Kenya, where I was born, Asante Sana. At this time, my aspiration is to inspire everybody here and at large to volunteer. Volunteering, in my experience, is most satisfying mentally, physically, and spiritually. My efforts are inspired by His Highness the Aga Khan, the Imam or spiritual leader of the Ismaili Muslims, and his family efforts to promote volunteering. In keynote address at the conference of the International Association for Volunteer Effort, Princess Zahra Aga Khan said, voluntary service to others is viewed as an integral part of daily life, never as a burdensome obligation. She added that service is a means for each individual to actualize Islam's ethics of inclusiveness, of compassion, of sharing. I thank the leadership of the Ismaili Muslim community and my beautiful granddaughter Asila for nominating me. I thank all those who helped me throughout my life, and in particular, my warmest thanks go to my wife Nargis, who has always stood by me and continues to inspire me with ideas and action. I want to thank my family and my friends who are here to share my joy in receiving this award. Please remember to volunteer whenever you have the opportunity, no matter your age. Thank you.
A great message for all the generations. Thank you so much, Sadhru. Now, enhancing Sound Generation's intergenerational impact, Microsoft has been a long-term partner to ensure people from all generations can connect and care for each other. Thanks to all of our recipients and FAR who are giving us new ways to think about embracing and celebrating aging with vitality, positivity, and resilience. Hopefully, they're motivating you too.
Hello, I'm Latasha Byers, and as a proud Sound Generations board member and an equally proud Microsoft employee, I celebrate intergenerational impact. I believe it is our civic and moral duty to foster genuine connections across all communities, those with obvious interests and others with not so obvious interests. It is when we lend our time, our resources, our privilege, and our hearts is when we have the greatest impact on each other and the communities that we serve. I applaud the work Sound Generation is doing to ensure that our aging neighbors are being included, respected, and cared for in the greater community. Thank you.
And next category is health and wellness, promoting healthy living by doing things like teaching or participating in classes such as fitness, sports, dance, or yoga, working in the field of healthcare, or serving as a caregiver. Now, this year's nominees are Rosie Ching and Shireen Velji. And the recipient of the 2020 Health and Wellness Award is Shireen Velji.
Acceptance speech for the Sound Generation's Inspire Positive Award in Health and Wellness category. Shireen, I honored and privileged to receive this award today. Thank you, Sound Generations, for the important work you do in our region and for acknowledging the contributions of seniors and honoring our value and relevance in the community. I also want to thank Zara McCly, a 10th grader from my faith community who nominated me, Rahim Karmali, our Western Region President, Altaf Gilani, Chairman of the Seattle Aging Gracefully Initiative, they reached out and encouraged me to apply for the award. As an immigrant to the US from Tanzania, I have always looked for opportunities to get involved in my community because I love meeting people. I am a people person and get a lot of joy helping others. Alongside a professional career at the World Bank in Washington, D.C., involving extensive travel and raising 2 daughters, with my husband, I always found time to engage with and support others around me. Since moving to Seattle area almost 15 years ago, much of my volunteering has been connected to health and wellness. Whether it is serving on health and wellness committee and making masks to prevent fellow residents at Emerald Heights from getting coronavirus, or serving on the Evergreen Health Community Advisory Board and on Senior Care Connections Overlake Hospital prior to that. In my faith community on eye care to help an assigned senior with all issues related to his well-being. When I lived in Kirkland downtown, I served on Peter Kirk Community Council and volunteered at the Kirkland City Hall to support pedestrian safety, resulting in yellow flags at popular crossroads. I would urge my fellow seniors to be always vigilant about their physical and mental health, stay involved in walking, in fitness classes, enjoy reading, meditate to manage stress, and always carry a positive attitude to aging gracefully. And never doubt what you can do. Sky is the limit. Once again, thank you, Sound Generation, for this great honor, and I hope I can continue to maintain my commitment and fulfill the hopes of this award. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shireen. What a great example you set. Now, one that partner Kaiser Permanente is committed to as well.
At Kaiser Permanente, the heart of our work is our mission to provide high-quality, affordable healthcare services and to improve the health of our members and our communities. It's also driven by our heritage of prevention and our conviction that good health is a fundamental right. In our quest to improve the health of the communities we serve, we put collaboration at the heart of our efforts to advance health equity and achieve change. Today, we are happy to recognize the health and wellness recipients who are transforming our communities through total health. Thank you.
Thank you, Hearing Loss Association of Washington. Lifelong learning is the next category, inspiring others to broaden their horizons by doing things like taking or teaching classes to explore new interests, participating in a group that promotes creative expression, or working or volunteering on the board that promotes public education. Now, this year's nominees are Ismail Muhammad, Richard Ladner, Chris Gibbs, Luannie Charles, Dory Gillum, Trudy James, and Jacqueline Cook. And the recipient of the 2020 Lifelong Learning Award is Dory Gillum, and she has a few words she'd like to share.
When Sabrina Jones nominated me for the Lifelong Learning Award, it never occurred to me that I might win. So thank you, Sabrina, where I worked for 6 years, and to all of you for donating and supporting Sound Generation's important work. When I think of lifelong learning, I think about my parents. Neither were educated past high school, yet they were both very curious, interested people. They read different things, they learned different things. One was a Republican, one was a Democrat, and they always had something interesting to talk about at the dinner table. And they said, if you surround yourself with people like that, you will always be learning and you'll always be open to new things. Thank you again.
We learned so much from you, Dory. Thank you. Lifelong learning is so important for mental fitness and brain activity. Sound Generations and its affiliated senior centers work hard to provide a variety of classes and activities, and you can see it for yourself.
Hi, my name is Biella. As a Microsoft employee, I celebrate lifelong learning. In my daily work in education marketing, and as a parent of 2 amazing daughters, one of my greatest joys in life is and continues to be being able to watch, grow, and learn from children as they begin their own learning journeys in the world. The wonder and amazement you see in a child's eye as they learn something new for the first time is priceless, and something that has inspired me personally to continually pursue exploring and learning new things in adulthood. Whether it be a new recipe or a new friendship, the change in perspective is something that keeps me curious and adventurous. I applaud the work that Sound Generations is doing to ensure our aging neighbors can continue to thrive, socialize, and share their talents in a community that affirms and values their contributions.
And last but definitely not least is Inspiration. Now, people nominated in this category have touched and inspired others in a unique way. This category recognizes that inspiration comes to different people in different ways. You may be inspired by their journey, or you may recognize they make the ordinary beautiful and show the joy of long life. This year's nominees are Joyce Chambers, Val Brustad, Dory Gillum, and Jesse Strauss. Well, this year the judges were torn between recognizing someone for their local impact versus their global impact. Now, even though the primary focus of this award is to recognize the way nominees inspire peers in their community, they really felt strongly that it was only right to give honorable mention to Jesse Strauss, who has done amazing things across the world.
Hello, my name is Jesse Strauss. I feel it's a great honor to be nominated for the Inspire Positive Aging Award, and I thank you for that. I'm sure I was nominated because of my work with Habitat for Humanity. For the last 25 years, I have led teams to other countries with Habitat for Humanity. Now, this is an organization that builds houses for people who cannot afford them. They do charge for the house, but it's only for the cost of the house. There's no cost for our volunteer labor. Many of the materials are donated, so the cost to the homeowners is small. People qualified by being under a certain income level and also having the time that they can help with the construction of the house. I have built houses in about 45 countries around the world. My job has been to organize the people who are going, to recruit them and organize them. So I have recruited in all about 200 people. Each team, however, is only generally between 10 and 15 or 10 and 18 people. So when we go to a country, they know we're coming, they have invited us, they have all the materials ready, and they have a foreman. So what do I do and what does my team do? Well, we lift concrete blocks and move them to here, from here to there. We mix concrete. We do whatever it is that they tell us that they do, that they want done. So we are really grunt work. It is a very, very satisfying job for us because when we come in, the family is living in inadequate housing. Sometimes we are able to see the housing, and often they are living where there's just a mud floor, and even sometimes a mud house with only one small window. You can see these families really, really need a home. So in the 1 or 2 weeks that we are there, we come with nothing there. By the time we leave, there is a concrete block house there. We do not complete the work, however. Often we don't get the floor done. It will be a concrete floor. Windows may not be in. So there are some things that the homeowner will need to do after we leave. Also, there's a foreman, so he directs the homeowners and all of the work that gets done. So as you can see, this is a very, very satisfying job for me. In all, I think I've led, I've forgotten how many teams I've led, a lot, let's say, to 40 countries, 40 or 45. Each team has about a dozen volunteers, so I've influenced about 200 people in that way. Because when they go to another country, they see the poverty and they see a whole different way of life. So it's not just the homeowners who benefit, it's also the volunteers. That's pretty much what I want to say about what I've done with Habitat for Humanity, but it's a great organization, and I hope I might inspire other people to get interested in volunteering with it. Thank you.
And thank you so much for your perspective, Jessie. And now the recipient of the 2020 Defining Inspiration Award, Val Brustad.
Hello, my name is Val Brustad. I wish to thank Sounds Generations for the honor they've bestowed upon me with this award. And I also want to thank the two ladies, Katiana Stroll and Luciana Villanova, who nominated me for this award. This all started for me 15 years ago, almost to the day, when I took over the leadership of a support group for people who are caring for people with dementia under the Alzheimer's Association. My first wife had been running that group, but 3 days prior to the meeting, she had suffered an aneurysm and died. I started at that point, and that group supported me at various times. And I learned from their support how to support and encourage them and inspire them through the course of their handling of their loved one's disease. I again thank you very much for this award.
Thank you, Val. You are an inspiration. Now, defining inspiration is so important to those who truly want to embrace our differences and respect different points of view. It creates vibrancy, depth, and character in our relationships and interactions. A big congratulations to all of our 2020 nominees and recipients, a phenomenal group of older adults who are inspiring us and showing us the richness of what aging can and should be. They are all amazing. Now, if you at home would like to read the nominations that were submitted for these fine folks, you can see the full summary at soundgenerations.org. And I thank you for allowing me to be with you all here right now, and maybe some of you I've many great friends because of the work Sound Generations allows me to do. I've been encouraged, inspired, perhaps even lectured once or twice by the clients I have met. You have inspired me. Thank you for being the bounce in my step, the bright spot in my week, and the bridge to other generations. Sharing your wisdom and experience and perspective. You are a gift, and I thank you. Sound Generations appreciates every one of you who has contributed with your time and resources. You are allowing them to continue to meet the needs of older adults in King County so they can be included, respected, and supported. Thank you all for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Tribute giving is a way to recognize, honor, and celebrate people and events that are important to you by giving back to others. This Father's Day, join us in celebrating your amazing dad by making a donation of any amount in his honor, and we will send him a beautiful Father's Day card crafted by a Seattle artist for Sound Generations. Text SG Tribute to 41444 to make a donation today.